Good morning. Yeah, I'm here today. Here today, gone tomorrow. But just heads up here at the beginning. Tomorrow will not be a stream because, well, 3 hours of dealing with a nurse that I've never met before. I'm so looking forward to it. But there's no infusion today because of that 3 hours of talking to the nurse tomorrow. Because if everything goes right, I will be starting my new meds tomorrow. And that will mean no more infusions if everything goes well and I don't have any reactions to the new medicine. So I'm really looking forward to that. Really, really, really looking forward to that. Why is my avatar so screwed up this morning? The picture's so small, but the black ring is so big. What the heck happened? Is that okay? That's made it smaller, but that's made it bigger. That's too small. But my avatar picture is still so small. That don't make any sense. Well, I guess it's something that they've done over at StreamYards. I've got no clue what's going on. Because the avatar's not normally that small, is it? I will have to look at some past streams because I don't remember the avatar being that small. No, okay. No, why am I getting leave studio messages now? No, I don't want to leave studio. No, I don't want to end stream. What the hell? I had to completely re-download StreamYards. What happened was oh crap. Oh crap. I totally forgot about that. Well, today will be a short stream because I've got 11:30 doctor's appointment I got to be at. Oh crap. Oh, that's right, concrete injections. Man, I tell you, this sucks. Gotta get concrete injections into my legs today. So anyway, been a lot happening. I found this morning, and it showing Trump in the press in a surprisingly light mood. The press was not near as hateful. They're actually laughing about this when this happened. Trump was on the roof of the White House. Sounds of the sirens of common occurrence in D.C.
Sir, why are you on the roof?
Mr. President, what are you doing up there?
Taking a little walk. Come down and talk to us. Yeah,
What are you building?
look. The ballroom, which is on the other side. Are you considering more renovations, sir? Hello, Peter. Looking good, Peter.
Are you going to build up
Aye,
there?
sir.
What does that mean?
What do you... Four ways to spend my money.
Can you give us
Four ways
another
to-
hint?
We'll show you. It's just another way to spend my money for the country.
Are you considering a second story?
Anything I do is financed by me, so you don't have to worry. It's contributed. Just like my salary is contributed, and nobody ever mentions that.
Sir, are you going to add another level?
So I found that, and I thought that was kind of fun, the way that it just sort of, I mean, everybody was actually kind of polite there, for surprisingly enough. What in the devil? All right, I don't know what happened there. That was interesting as all get out. Ah, more fun, more fun. What can I say? All right, but anyway, let's talk about this. Okay, something. Well, I buy breadcrumbs, and because I like doing chicken fillets, chicken cutlets, uh, and I take my chicken breasts, cut them in, slice them in half, pound them out nice and thin, flour, egg wash, then into breadcrumbs. And I've always just bought in 4C breadcrumbs. Not that I don't like Progresso or the other brands but I've just always bought in 4C. And then the panko breadcrumbs. And I noticed a couple weeks ago that my chicken cutlets started tasting a little bit off. And I was like, oh. And my meatballs started tasting a little bit off. And I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. And then I noticed that 4C, where is it? That's not it. That 4C started adding Pecorino Romano cheese to their breadcrumbs. It's there on the front of the container. I just never paid attention to it. And that's why my chicken cutlets started tasting off. Because, I don't add Romano cheese to my chicken cutlets. Not to the breadcrumbs. I mean, if I wanted cheese added to my breadcrumbs, I would add them. And I don't know what brand of cheese they're adding. I've got an assumption it's Kraft brand because it doesn't really taste like a really great Romano cheese. So if you do much cooking and you've been using 4C breadcrumbs and you've noticed a flavor difference, that's it. If you look on the front of the can that says now with Pecorino Romano cheese. And that's the difference. I heard one lady said it tasted like she'd added cinnamon to her breadcrumbs. I didn't necessarily get the taste of cinnamon, but I definitely got an off taste that I really didn't care for, and I thought maybe that maybe it was the chicken, or maybe it was my cooking oil, or maybe some of the other ingredients that I used in making the meal were slightly off. But none of the other stuff tasted off when I was cooking them. So, but anyway, if you use 4C and you've noticed that, that's what it is. They've started adding Romano cheese to it. So I got to go back and check my pantry, my larder, and see if I've got any other 4C back there with the cheese in it. Because I'm probably going to switch over to Progresso breadcrumbs for now on for breading my chicken and adding into my meatballs, adding into my meatloaf, adding into just about anything that I use with breadcrumbs. So, yeah, not happy at all about that. Now, one of the other scandals here, manufactured scandals going on with Trump, is this $200 million ballroom that he and others are using their personal money. No tax dollars are going into it. And if you sit there and watch the Democrats and liberals, especially on social media, $200 million for a ballroom, yet not one dime for children's meals. $200 million for a ballroom and not $1 for cancer research. $200 million for a ballroom and not one dime for homeless veterans. $200 million for yada yada. No. So always the $200 million for the ballroom and not one dime. Pick your favorite sob story thing here. Now, $200 million, and they're cutting EBT. I want to get on this EBT here for just a minute. But anyway, well, I'll get back to the EBT. Don't let me get too lost. Don't let me forget to get back to this EBT mess. So I wanted to see what this ballroom is going to look like. Where did the picture go? That's not the picture I wanted. Oh, did I accidentally close that picture out? Okay. I sure did. So let me find that picture again. because there's really, here it is. Open image, a new tab. There we go. Now, trying to find something to give a perspective, an image to give a perspective what this ballroom is going to look like, this $200 million ballroom. That took me a little bit this morning. You know, something that would, you know, blueprints, you know, an overhead floor plan showing where it was positioned against the White House, something like that. And unfortunately, fortunately to unfortunately, this was the best I could find, was this picture right here. So here it is. Okay, and is there a problem with my, all right, there it is. This thing is going to be huge. I mean, there is the White House itself. This is going to dwarf the White House. I had no idea it was going to be this big. I was thinking maybe half that size, maybe 3/4. But I was expecting more half this size. But man, this is going to, I mean, absolutely humongous. It dwarfs the original White House. If I've got if I have any complaints about this whatsoever, it's that I think it's too big. I mean, it's definitely big enough to handle any and all receptions the president, this or any future president, would want to hold. And it's definitely better than any tents that you know, they've been using in the past. But it's still absolutely humongous. And I can see why it's going to cost $200 million. I'm surprised that's all it's going to cost is $200 million. Because I mean, all that glass has got to be bulletproof. And that's going to be a lot of money just in the bulletproof glass, let alone the rest of the security that's got to get built into that. I mean, that's not just going to be cinder block and concrete with rebar. I mean, that's going to be something else. And you know, the heating and the air in that thing has got to be atrocious. Because that's just, I mean, it's mostly open space. The I mean, that's a 2-story open space building. Now, granted, yes, I know they build coliseums, you know, bigger than that they heat and air. But uh, wow, that's all I got to say. Wow, that thing is absolutely humongous. Um, they'll put then one thing though is, I mean, I doubt they'll have this thing finished by the time Trump leaves office. And it will be doubtful if the next president will be able to stop the construction on it. So, but yeah, this thing is absolutely humongous. It's unbelievable. Trump is definitely leaving his mark on the White House. He is definitely leaving his mark on it. And on Washington D.C. That's going to be something that they can't, you know. And ladies and gentlemen, just to the left of the White House, as you see, is the magnificent ballroom constructed by President Donald J. Trump through his own money and private donations of other multimillionaires. So that uh yeah, it's something else. Now, they've asked, how much of the East Wing will be torn down for the construction. That's where the office of the First Lady, which I don't think Melania spends much time in there, the White House military office and the visitor's office. He said they've said that the offices in the East Wing will be vacated while it's being modernized. So, modernized, what does that mean? More security, better heat and air, more, air ducting, better electrical outlets and such. So, and the ballroom addition will be separated from the main building and positioned off the east wing. That only makes sense. Let's see here. This is what it's supposed to look like on the inside when it's done. And I mean, again, just absolutely everything gold. And of course, with it being Trump, you would expect it all to be gold. Somebody popped in and left, didn't even say hi. I wonder how many people this is supposed to be able to seat. I wonder what they're considering for the seating on this thing. But again, none of this supposedly is coming from taxpayer dollars. All this is Trump's personal donations and the donations of a few other millionaires to pay for this. Millionaires / billionaires. Oh, there's Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk donated to this, and how much? How many people are actually donating into this? We'll probably never know. Now, I would imagine the long-term commitment to heating, air, electrical, all that other good stuff will have to be factored into the new White House budgeting. It's just the initial construction costs and everything is being covered. I wonder if they're going to set up solar energy into the roofs to help defray the electrical bill. Because as big as that is, put a bunch of solar panels on the top of that thing. Probably generate enough electricity on most days on a sunny day to cover the entire White House and probably even maybe the Capitol offices, Capitol Hill. But anyway, that's enough about that. But all right, let me talk about this EBT before I forget about it. There's that seems to have been a very hot issue here. The upcoming changes to EBT, where no more sodas, no more sugary snacks, no more cakes, brownies, that kind of stuff. You know, pre-mades, store-made cakes, store-made brownies. Uh, is no longer on EBT. Can't buy them on EBT. If you can still buy them, but you got to pay cash money for them. You can't use your EBT card on it. And there's mostly from the left, but some from the right are very angry about it, or different shades, different levels of anger. Now, starting with those on the right. All right. They said, you know, some are saying that why shouldn't they be able to buy a pumpkin pie or an apple pie for dessert? Why shouldn't they buy a box of Little Debbie's for the kids to be able to snack on EBT? You know, so you know, EBT, you know, it stands for the Electronic Benefits Transfer. Okay. Uh, and that, uh, you know, that card, you know, that's for SNAP, WIC, and TANF. Okay. Now, WIC is Women's Infants Children, and meant the restrictions on WIC are really tight. All right. Okay. Oh, I didn't want recertification. But most people are on SNAP. Okay. And SNAP, you know, the restrictions are alcohol and tobacco, non-nutritious items, you know, chips, candy, soda, and non-nutritious foods. That's where they're being a lot of questions. Controlled substances, you know, alcohol, cannabis, marijuana, CBD. You can't buy seeds or plants. Can't buy vitamins, medicines, or daily dietary supplements. Now, SNAP, okay. Okay, let's see here. What it, uh, I'm sorry here. SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. There we go. And the key word there is all three of the four words are key: supplemental, nutrition, and assistance. It's not meant to, it's meant to supplement your own money. It's not meant to replace, it's meant to supplement. Nutrition. I'm sorry, but a birthday cake, while it's nice and traditional, and it's definitely a treat, birthday cakes are not, or cakes of any type, are not really that nutritional. Assistance. Again, we are assisting you. The government through the taxpayers through the government are assisting you as an individual or as a family. We're helping you to provide a nutritional meal for your family on a daily basis. We're helping you supplement your own income for this. So, I mean, so it's not meant to provide everything that you ingest that day. It's really not. It's not meant, I mean, I used to be a Dr. Pep, or initially I was a Pepsi fiend. I drank a 12 pack of Pepsi a week. When we went to the grocery store every Saturday, a 12 pack of Pepsi went in the shopping cart, and that was just for me. When I got up in the morning, the first thing I did is I chugged a half a bottle of Pepsi while my coffee was brewing. Last night, I made a pizza for dinner, and I drank one of them small 6-ounce bottles of Dr. Pepper. And that's the first Dr. Pepper I've drank in 2 weeks. Now, I do buy the 84-cent. I used to go to Winn-Dixie and buy the 99-cent bottles, but I found Walmart's got them similar for 84 cents, carbonated flavored water. And when I go to work at night, I mix 2 cups of um, an orange drink, a caffeinated orange drink, to 2 cups of this of a peach flavored water, carbonated water, and put it in my flask to take to work with ice in it. That's along with my 72 ounces of coffee. Now that 84-cent bottle of carbonated flavored water, peach flavored water, will last me a week. It holds 4 cups, low over 4 cups. And I put 2 cups in on Tuesday night. I put 2 cups in on Saturday night. And then I've got a little bit, maybe a half a cup left over. And I just go ahead and drink that. And that's all the soda I drink. Yeah, I do consider that carbonated flavored water a soda, even though it doesn't have any added sugars or anything to it. But the Crystal Light, mix that I take into work with me it's probably got sugars in it. So even though it's caffeinated, it probably has sugars in it. So, but that's it. I mean, and I pay for that out of my pocket. Soda pop, though, we all agree soda pop is not nutritional. I'm not saying they can't have soda. I'm not saying they can't have beer. If they want it, though, then it needs to come out of their pocket. Now, I don't know if you've ever been on WIC. WIC is, for pregnant women and children under the age of 5. All right. And excuse me. And there's only certain things that you can buy with WIC. So again, I mean, you can buy breakfast cereal, canned fish, cheese, eggs, some infant formulas, juices, infant cereal, infant food, formula, milk, of course, nut and seed butters, peanut butter, and such. Whole grain breads, tofu, yogurt. All right, you don't see potato chips on that list. There's not soda pop on that list. There's not the apple pie, birthday cake, muffins, little Debbie's on that list. And there shouldn't be. Because those are things that aren't needed. And I'm trying. I'm trying. What was the other one? What was the other one? TANF? I think was the other one that they're allowed that it's allowed to be used. Yeah, TANF, temporary assistance to needy families. And again, there's only certain foods that you can buy under that, certain limitations. Um, You can use, okay, let's see here. Okay, okay. Oh, TANF is what we used to call welfare. So pay for food, housing, home energy, child care. All right. So this is what we used to call just getting the welfare check. Hey, good morning, Digi. How you doing? There's somebody else hiding out there, but yeah, mine's I kept getting blocked from sites, and then all of a sudden the sites would let me in. I don't understand what was going on. I was blocked from StreamYards over the weekend. No idea what was going on. I thought at first I thought it was my computer because my main computer, the one that I use for this, when I turned it on Friday, it said my uh, trash trash bin had been corrupted, so it needed to empty all the files out of my trash bin. I was like, well, I haven't looked to see what's in there lately, so but I guess if it's corrupted, I got no choice. And so I went ahead and it had to delete everything on my trash, and then had to reboot like 4 or 5 times. Then when I finally got it booted, went to open StreamYards and the program opened, but that was all it did. It opened. I didn't have access to anything. So I went and re-downloaded it and tried to see if that was it. No, that wasn't it. I played with it until probably 2 in the afternoon on Friday. And I finally gave up. And then when I opened it Saturday, everything was fine. Um, I know there's parts of Florida because my sister called me this morning, all in shakes and shambles, that there's that there's flood warnings for a bunch of different parts of Florida for this weekend. And she called me all shakes and shambles about that. And with so much being satellite driven anymore, I expect whatever storms are out there is probably interfering with satellite. I should hope not, but being as oh, my sister will be fine. She lives up in Ohio. She was concerned about me being down here in Florida because she's supposed to come down in November for Thanksgiving week. Which reminds me, I need to confirm with the bosses that I'm off Thanksgiving week, Tuesday to Tuesday, or that Tuesday and Saturday. I'll send that email out to the boss today. And because I've got my sister's plane tickets already bought. I fly her down business class, get her as close to the front of the plane as possible. Some of the planes that she'll be in, they've got one row that's only got one seat on either side of the plane, and that's the seat I usually try to get her. But anyway, yeah, I'm one of these people. I don't understand. Now there was a time period when I was a kid that we went on food stamps. It was only for about 6, 7 months, but there was a time period when I was a kid that we had to go on food stamps. And I'm old. I mean, and I was old enough at the time that I remember, and these were the old paper food stamps. You know, they looked like they're different colors, and they had $1, $2, or $1, $5, $10 printed on them. Mostly ones and fives with a few tens and twenties mixed in. You know, and you actually had to rip them out of the booklet in front of the store clerk, sign the back of them, and turn them in. So, you know, there was no hiding the fact that you were using food stamps. And anybody standing in line behind you knew you were using food stamps. Because I mean, and it was illegal in the state of Ohio at the time for a place of business to accept a food stamp that was not taken out of the booklet in front of them. They couldn't just have them loose in their purse or in their wallet. They had to have that booklet. Because each booklet had a registration number on it, and each one of those food stamps inside that booklet had the same registration number. Hey, morning, Data. And so they could track back to exactly what it is you bought and what day you bought it on. And what it was is that was to keep people from selling food stamps. And then when I got old enough to go to work, we would have mom and dads. And this was down here. Well, this was, where was it? Green stamps are better. Oh, no, it was after, no, it was after I retired out of the Air Force. And Florida was still using actual food stamps. This is before EBT cards, so this was in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I was working in a convenience store. I was in training to be I had to spend a year as a store manager, and then I was going to step up as a district manager. But I had to spend a year working as a store manager first. And people would come in, and they still had these food stamp things, but people would come in and give each one of their kids a food stamp, a $5 one, and they would go over and buy a 50-cent or a dollar piece of candy, and we had to give back real money and change. We couldn't give back food stamps if we had them in the drawer. Then the kids would run out to the cars, run back out to the car and give the change to their dad or their mom or dad, who would then come in and use that change to buy a 40-ouncer of beer. Well, the first time I saw that happen, that sort of pissed me off. Yeah, there were S&H green stamps. I didn't know there was any other brand. I just thought it was only S&H. And so I called the welfare office the following week, because this happened either on a Friday or Saturday. So I called the welfare office and asked them about it. I said, I'm working at a convenience store and this is what I observed happening. And they said, "Oh, yeah, really, really?" And they said, "Well, do you know who it was?" I said, "Well, no, I don't know who it was. I'm just in training the first time I'd been in that store." Well, somehow or another, the food stamp office, first thing they did is they sent out a memo saying that was illegal for that to happen. And then they turn around and somehow or another they found out who it was that did it. And I don't know if they went through corporate and got the security camera footage from that day or what. I don't know. But next thing I know, a couple of days later or a week or so later, I got this dad coming in and he's just yelling and screaming at us how we got him in trouble and got his food stamps taken away from him. And it's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I've got no idea. But I did recognize him, after a while when he got done screaming at us, that was the guy that came in and bought the beer using the change that we'd given his kids or given to the kids. But I don't mind people who need it to use it. But use it to supply what your family actually needs. Now, I'm not saying your kids can't have a cake. No. And if you don't want to, I mean, if I mean, it's not that hard to bake a cake. It really isn't. You can buy the flour, the baking soda, the sugar. You can buy everything you need to make a cake using your EBT card. And your kid will probably appreciate it a lot more that you actually baked that cake for them from scratch than he would you going down to Winn-Dixie or Walmart or Publix. You know, the Publix cakes are really good. And buying a cake and paying 5 or 10 times the price of what it would have cost you to make it yourself. And there's been I had one woman arguing with me, well, you don't want me to bake. I'm a horrible bake. I couldn't bake a cake to save my life. Yes, you can. And guess what? If you don't want to bake a cake from scratch, take $5, buy a Betty Crocker cake and a can of icing off the shelf. Now, you should have canola oil or vegetable oil in your cupboard. And I'm sure you've got 1 or 2 eggs in your refrigerator. Make the cake, put the frosting on it, and give it to your family. You don't have, and that's a lot cheaper than buying a $15 or $20 or $30 cake pre-made, and your kids and your family will appreciate it a lot more because they get to smell that cake baking. They know how good that's going to taste because that smell enhances the flavor. And knowing that you made it for them enhances the flavor. And even if it's not the best tasting cake that you've ever had, Your kids will think it's absolutely wonderful. Your family will think it's absolutely wonderful because you made it for them. Cake and bacon. But I tell you what, Data, I needed some quick bacon, and my good bacon hadn't thawed yet. So I bought some off the shelf bacon, 12 ounces for like $3 or $4, and cooked that stuff up. That was the most flavorless bacon I've ever had in my life. Hey, Ramen, I sent you a link. But yeah, cake is, I mean, so there's no reason, there is nothing that you could want to make for your kids that you can't buy the ingredients for off your EBT. You just can't buy a store made that's going to cost you 5, 10, 20 times the cost of the actual ingredients. And I'm not saying the stores are ripping you off for buying them, for the prices that they make it. Oh, okay. Well, get your cup of coffee in you. Yeah, right. I am a bacon snob. I buy the right brand bacon, and then I may look at 10 or 12 packages before I finally pick one to go into my shopping cart, because I want to make certain that I'm not getting one that's not mostly fat. I do want some meat on my bacon, not all fat. As much as I like my cracklings and my pork rinds, I don't want my bacon to be all fat. I want good share of meat on there. So I've got no problems with these restrictions on EBT. I really and truly don't. But some of these people feel so self-entitled to the idea that they should be able to buy, that's my money. No, it's not your money. It's money you're being allowed to use that came from your neighbors. Your neighbors had money taken out of their paychecks, out of their wallets, and some of it allocated to you so that you could buy basic foodstuffs for your children, to feed your children. That's what that is. That's not your money. And that's the first thought that's got to get through their minds, through to them. That is your neighbor's money that you are being allowed to use to ensure that your children have food on the table. If you're an able-bodied and minded adult, you should not be able to get SNAP. You should not be able to get anything, any kind of welfare. If you're able-bodied. If you're able-bodied and you're of good sound mind, no. Sorry, go get a job. Well, I don't want to. The only jobs out there are digging ditches or washing dishes. And go get a job. Exactly, Raman. It's our involuntary charity. I absolutely hate being on disability. I absolutely hate it. I'd much rather be working my 40 hours a week. I had no intentions on being on Social Security disability at age 65. I wanted to work until I was 75 years old. I wanted to work for 10 more years because I had a damn good job. I was making good money. I enjoyed the people I worked for. Yeah, they're dealing with the public can be frustrating and all that other good stuff. But I was making a good living, being able to provide for my wife, provide for my grandchildren, and sock away money, fly my sister down first class once a year. And then life happened and I ended up in the position I'm in today. I was supposed to take over the running of the hotel. I was supposed to be general manager. That was supposed to happen 3 years ago. And then, like I said, life happened. Well, actually, more than 3 years ago. When I started going on the infusions is when it was supposed to happen. That's been 10 years ago. But anyway. But I've always felt this way about EBT. People should only be getting the money for the necessities and for their children. And yes, I still believe that parent should be required to work. They shouldn't be allowed to sit home on their butt if they are able-bodied, able-minded, and especially if they've got, okay, Trump puts Washington, D.C. police under federal control and deploys the National Guard. I was going to talk about some Trump had ordered the FBI to patrol the streets with the with the DC police, but now this is happening. Yikes. Hey, Paul, good morning. Do I believe there needs to be a shakeup in the welfare system? Yes. Do I believe there needs to be a shakeup in quite a few of our social assistance programs? Yes. Not all of it taking people off of it. Some of it people need to be put on. Hey, morning,
Good
Robin.
morning.
How are you doing today?
Oh no, I can't hear anything. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just
Oh,
fine.
now I can hear you. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. I've got to turn the volume down here.
All right, turn my volume down. It's okay.
No, I got to turn down the volume on my computer.
Okay. Man, you
There
know
we
what? I
go.
know it's a horrible thing, but I've been watching these women complaining about their EBT, and I've been laughing all weekend. Someone was like, I've got about 6 kids. I'm like, what do you mean about? You don't know how many kids you have? What the hell is this, you know? Just, oh my God, it's wild, yo. This this woman sat in her car talking about how we are in a government dystopia because the government is controlling what we eat. No, they're telling you, the government's telling you what it won't pay for. It's not telling you what to eat. I mean, she was flipping her shit over this. And just, this is a woman who is nicely dressed in a car she owns. And she's got some jewelry, not excessive jewelry. She's tasteful. And her hair is done. And she has a little bit of makeup on, talking about how she's in a dystopia. You know, in every dystopian book I've read or movie I've seen, and I've seen a lot of them, I've never seen somebody 300 pounds complaining about what she's not allowed to eat in a car she owns. It's always these young, skinny kids starving, trying to fight each other in the mud for a crust of bread.
Right.
Not this woman sitting in the parking lot of a Big Lots complaining about food. Oh my God.
Uh, exactly. You know, there. One of the videos I saw this weekend that sort of, you know, I had to sit there. It made me so mad I had to laugh
What?
because it was this young guy, late teens, early 20s,
Uh-huh.
right, in a Dunkin' Donuts,
Oh no.
trying to buy a dozen donuts and an iced coffee
This is what
using
EBT
his
card.
EBT card. And they said that they don't accept EBTs.
Right, it's freaking Dunkin' Donuts. Please don't tell me he started a riot in that place. It's a
Oh
Waffle
yeah,
House.
he got absolutely angry.
I don't get it.
Well, how am I supposed to get my donuts for my brothers and sisters? How am I supposed to
Um.
get my coffee for my mother?
Oh wow. So mom's probably still in the bed. Her kids are running all over the friggin' apartment, and they send him out to do it.
Yeah, exactly, Digi. Cash your credit, my boy. Cash your credit. I'll tell you, a dozen donuts, they're not cheap. A dozen donuts,
No, not a Dunkin'. They are
you,
not cheap.
you're spending 15 to $20 on a box of dozen donuts from a Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts now.
And you know what? I don't like Dunkin' Donuts coffee, but I love their donuts. Oh my God. But I will get a dozen at the Walmart, like just a dozen glazed or a dozen chocolate frosted with rainbow sprinkles for my girl. You know, they eat one every morning for breakfast. We're set for a while. But damn, you know, there's like 5 million tutorials on YouTube on how to make a friggin' donut. Mom might
Yeah,
need to get out of bed and do a thing. Oh my God.
but you can make a donut with those with biscuit dough, the canned
I was
biscuit
gonna
dough.
say, yeah. You know, when I was a little girl, my mom used to take us to San Gennaro Feast. This is not an EBT story, so I don't know if this fits, but San Gennaro Feast in New York, it's a huge thing. They show it in The Godfather. So everybody's got to stand where you get Zeppels. And I swear to God, just tasting those things, I swear they're Pillsbury biscuits rolled into a ball and deep fried, and then put in a paper bag and rolled in powdered sugar. They shake the bag up and hand you the bag, and they're still hot. Oh my God, so good. My mom tried to make them in a home. They were not as good. She used granulated sugar. Ew. Powdered sugar makes all the difference.
Yeah, Dana, I used to work for Krispy Kreme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started off as a route driver and ended up as a assistant manager before I quit.
Oh my God.
And part of my job as assistant manager is I had to learn how to make the donuts
I'm the thing for doing that.
because sometimes the the cook would not come into work or was running late.
Oh,
We had 5 cooks,
wow.
and sometimes one of them would be, especially the guy that was supposed to be in at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes he'd be running late,
I don't
and
do
and we still had to get the donuts started by 2 in the morning so that by 4:30 we had fresh hot donuts coming out.
I will tell you, there's one thing I would not begrudge a person. That's a rotisserie chicken at Walmart. Because the cold ones, they're like $3.50. And that is cheaper than buying a whole chicken and cooking it yourself.
Oh, rotisserie
So,
chickens?
yeah, you know what? I'm not talking about the hot ones. I'm talking about ones that are done and chilled. And
Right.
they're in the little rocket package on ice. And they are cheaper than cooking it yourself. You know, I would not begrudge a person that. If it's like $3.50 and you got a bunch of kids to feed, yeah, you buy you 1 or 2 of those. You get a few meals out of that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know.
But yeah, this is an argument that I've been in now for about 4 days on my cell phone on social media. Is the fact that there's absolutely there are very very few things that you can buy pre-made at the grocery store that you can't make at home cheaper and
Yeah.
better for you.
Okay.
And I mean, it's like the pizza I made last night for dinner.
Cool.
Okay, I made that pizza dough. I knew exactly what was in there. I bought the
Okay.
block of mozzarella cheese and shredded it myself.
Oh man.
Okay, now I did buy the pre-sliced pepperonis. The jalapenos that went on mine, I grew. I grew
Nice.
my I grew my own jalapenos and I candied them myself.
Okay, I asked you a question. Am I weird because I don't like pepperoni
Are
on
you weird to
oil?
not like pepperoni? No.
Okay, because I've never liked it since I was a kid. My son loves it. I'm like, it's salty as hell. Get it away from me. Okay, I've never used EBT for Little Caesars, but man, I miss those $5 pizzas.
Paul, like I was saying earlier, a lot of this welfare needs to be looked at, and there are people who have been denied welfare
Oh my God, I
that
was
that
thinking,
should be on it. Just
okay,
like
here's the
there's
thing
a
a lot
bunch
of
of people
people
who's
know.
on it that should never have gotten it.
Um, Here in Florida, we don't, we're not a welfare state. We have food stamps. We
Right.
have something called TANF, which is cash, but you have a limit to how long you get it. It's not a money limit. It's a time limit. So if you get it for like a year or 3 years or whatever, that's all you can get for your entire life. And if you get it as a child and your parents collected it for you, that counts. So once you hit that limit, you're done forever and ever and ever. And that's it. You don't get any more money. So yay. Um, After I lost the camp, well, I had to get after I got divorced. I was a wife for 10 years. They wanted me to be a stay-at-home wife, so I had no work history for like something like 15, 20 years. I had no work history, so I couldn't get a job. I tried. I had 2 little kids in school, no child support, no alimony, nothing. And apparently, he got the court dates in the mail, and I wasn't notified. And he went to court by himself and told the judge that he didn't want custody, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to collect child support or alimony. So rather than saying, well, this is very suspicious that your wife isn't here fighting for your kids, and that a woman who hasn't worked for 10 years is okay not getting any money whatsoever for her disabled minor children. So I'm just going to put a recommendation, like a guideline. I saw the divorce decree. There was a guideline for $200 a month child support, not an order. It's a recommendation. So we had no money. I had no job. And I got turned down for food stamps because they were like, well, you got to go to court and take your ex-husband for child support. And I said, yeah, but who's going to take care of my children when they finally find my body? Because he said flat out, well, you can try to take me to court for child support, but I won't be here anymore before they find your body. And it put chills down my spine because, yeah, I believe he would, yeah. So they denied me based on the fact that I was scared to face my psychotic abusive ex-husband in court. Hello, baby girl. Yeah, so it was just crazy. But yeah, eventually I did get approved.
You want to drive me to the post office?
What?
You want to drive me to the post
Yeah,
office?
later.
But yeah, there's issues here. And it's like I tried to argue with that woman. Buy a
These
box
people act
cake.
like they're paying out of their own pocket directly to you, not out of their taxes. But it was like the most humiliating experience I've ever been through in my life, and it should be. You're asking for money, but damn, these people act like I was trying to like go and take their paycheck before it hit their hand. I'm sorry, I'm gonna shut up.
But
It took years to get it
it's like these kids now, and I mean, school has
done. I am
started,
okay with justice being put off this.
school has started, and Florida, Texas, Louisiana, a bunch of states have absolutely banned the use of cell phones by students during the school day. Some have gone so far as to say is the phones aren't allowed on school property. Others have said, yeah, the kids can have the phones, they just can't use them
I kind of get it.
during
So
school
kids
hours.
find a little late leeway. They find any little loophole, and they'll abuse the hell out of it. But
Well, some of the schools have gone to these yonder bags.
under the what?
Yonder bags, and what that is, it's a bag that you put your cell phone in, and it's got a magnetic lock. Well, the kids have found ways to pop that magnetic lock using pencils and such. Some I didn't check it for myself. In fact, I ought to. Let me go to.
Oh my God.
Okay, and I'm search here. Yonder pouch magnet opener.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see here. Is my name blocked? There we go. All
Thank you,
right.
baby.
You can buy the magnet
Listen, Mom.
to open the Yonder pouch off of Amazon for $6.
Of course you can.
Okay, for $7.
Mm-hmm.
You can get 4 of them for $7.
Wow.
Okay. Here's one for $10. So you can get the magnets to open the Yonder bags off of Amazon.
Okay. My kids' school, when I used to take them, they had no Wi-Fi. They just had it turned off. You couldn't use your phone even as an adult.
Well, see, but see, I'm of two minds here with these kids having cell phones. I really am. One, I agree that the kids are spending way too much time on the cell phones in class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, I fully agree with that. All right.
But
Kids should not be texting. They should not be making phone calls. They should not be
they're scrolling social media.
on social media. They should not be using their cell phone to cheat on tests.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I agree with all that. However, however, how many times have we gotten videos of things going on in the classes because a student had a cell phone
Mm-hmm.
and was able to record either a student going way out of line or a teacher going way out of line?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell you, my daughter had a cell phone, and I really wish she knew to record the stuff that was going on in her class. I would have possessed it everywhere.
You know,
Anyway.
um, so like I said, I'm up to. There's been some good things that have happened. Good for us as parents, bad for teachers because the teachers have hated the fact that their behavior
Mm-hmm.
or what they were saying in class was recorded. Their actions and what they were saying was actually recorded and put out on social media to where everybody and their brother saw what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
no,
te-
my own actions are sending me to jail. What do I do?
and teachers got fired for
Good,
that.
good. You
And
want to
to
send
me,
my kid
that's
to the principal's office for stuff you encouraged to happen, and yeah, go to freaking jail. Get fired.
and to me, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, it's not all bad.
No. And there's
Uh,
always those one or two kids that their parent is in the hospital with cancer. They need to be alerted if they need to get a ride home, or if somebody else is picking them up. It. There's always exceptions.
so yeah, there's so that's why I'm saying I'm of two minds. This is why I've also advocated since COVID times that we put cameras in every classroom.
Mm-hmm. It's a government building. There shouldn't be any privacy or any of that stuff.
You know,
Yes,
every classroom should have a camera in it and a
with audio.
microphone
Mm-hmm.
to pick up now, to pick up everything that's going on. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be all these cameras need to be recorded and saved to a server somewhere, but the parents should be able to connect to the school system
Mm-hmm. See what their
and
kid's
connect
doing.
to the feed coming from a particular classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they saw something they didn't like, they would be able to record it,
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
What I like are the clever parents that put the cameras and the microphones in their kids' braids or their sweaters or whatever. So, yeah.
Okay, well, hey, Data, you're right. See when the kids get out of school though,
Huh.
they take their phones out of the yonder bag and they can use them. Once a kid
Um,
is out of school, they can use their cell phone. They just can't use it during school hours. Now, I'm sure I haven't read all the laws. I haven't even read all of Florida's law.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, and if and I wouldn't put it past the lawmakers to be stupid in the case, because this is all going something that they've never had to do before. But common sense would say that there would be, you know, exceptions for medical emergencies,
Yeah.
exceptions for, you know, uh, not even but I mean, for school emergencies, for weather emergencies.
Yeah.
Okay. To where the kids couldn't get in, and and have that actually written in the law. And I haven't researched the laws themselves. Read the fine points of each law. I've gone mostly off of news reports, and we all know how one-sided the news reports can be. But most of them, from what I've seen, say that as long as the kids, damn, it's 10:30 already. As long as the kids are safe and sound,
Hmm.
uh, and school is under control and everything, that they can't use their cell phones. And I've got no problem with that.
Right.
I really don't. No, I don't think that the school should collect cell phones. That the teachers should collect the cell phones and put them in a
I
box.
have
No,
seen cases where children's cell phones have gotten lost, especially those with
stolen.
really good models. Yeah, just lost. And oh no, I gave it to you at the end of the No, you didn't. Yes, I did. It's not here, so you must have it. Mm,
And all it takes is replacing the SIM card, and you can never tell. You
hmm.
never know that. But ooh, what kind of jam did you order there, Paul? I tell
I ordered an AC.
I'm having my sister, when she always flies down with she brings a big ass suitcase down with her, and I
Uh
told her that I want her to pack me up a dozen or so stalks of fresh rhubarb.
oh.
'Cause I will make a rhubarb pie and some rhubarb jam while she's down here if she does.
I've never heard of rhubarb jam.
Oh, and no, I don't make it with strawberry. No, I don't add sugar to my rhubarb.
Okay.
No, I want that face tightening sourness to come through in all its pungent strength.
Oh, I've never had rhubarb, but I hear you.
Oh, oh rhubarb has got. I mean, you think key lime will make your face twist up? Hmm. Rhubarb
Okay.
doesn't. Rhubarb's got a power of its own.
Okay.
Oh, Paul knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And rhubarb don't grow down here in the South. Yes, it is so delicious, that sourness. It is so good. Oh man. My grandmother had a wild patch of it growing in her yard. And and I'm not talking about a little itty bitty patch. I'm talking something about a third of an acre patch.
Mm. Okay.
And it was, I mean, yes, she canned up rhubarb. Yeah, and she did do the rhubarb strawberry, rhubarb apple, rhubarb whatever, but she also made just straight rhubarb. and that's what I always went for.
Oh. Okay, I have a
Oh, okay.
confession. I've been
Oh,
eating since I got on the street, and I am so sorry because it's rude.
oh, that's
But this
okay.
is the first time I woke up hungry in like a month. So,
My
um,
my wife bought me a box of cinnamon Captain Crunch.
is it good?
Well, the box is empty. It
That's
took
not
me
what I asked you, sir.
it took me 2 days, but I ate that whole box in 2 days.
I don't think that was a challenge. Okay.
No, that wasn't the challenge, but I haven't had Captain Crunch in 10 years.
Oh
I
wow.
I swear they've made the cereal smaller.
They make everything smaller now. Anyway,
So,
we
uh,
ordered subs yesterday from Publix.
oh,
So we had
pub
meatball
subs are
subs
good.
yesterday. They are so good. They got that 5 grain Italian bread. Oh my god.
Pub subs are, when our last grandson was born, uh, I treated my son and his wife and other grandson. They had pubs. I treat them to a week's worth of food out of Publix's
That
deli.
was some good stuff.
They, just everything I could think of, a week's worth of food. That way, they didn't have to worry about even cooking.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we got the chicken tender stuff for today, and oh my god, they were so good.
Yeah, oh
Melted
man,
cheese and
yeah.
tomato oil.
I've been thinking about making chicken tender sandwiches. So
I
I saw
stopped
some,
getting chicken nuggets and I switched to something called chicken bites.
right.
And it kind of has more of the, I guess, the texture and composition of actual chicken. And they have a better taste. So, yeah, if I make a sub with chicken, that's probably what I
Yeah.
should do.
See, if I'm going to eat breakfast, usually I'm going to uh, I'm usually going to make my own breakfast. Fry up a couple of eggs or make an
Yeah.
omelet or something like that.
Yeah, but
Uh, but here lately, I've been wanting
I don't think you want to
like
hear me clamor
I've
around
been
the
I've
kitchen.
been wanting Special K.
It's so hot in this house, too. I want to die.
I and I've been looking for the original shredded wheat and can't seem to find it anywhere. So
Really?
I may have to order it off of Amazon.
That's weird. Okay.
The big old block of shredded wheat. No sugar on it, no white crap on it, just pure shredded wheat.
For a while, they had, I think it was cashew. I forget what it was. And it was mini shredded wheat, the little teeny tiny ones. And in the center, it was either strawberry jam or chocolate or something. I
Yeah,
used to
well, I
like
don't
those.
want that.
Strawberry ones were really good.
I don't want the bite-sized shredded wheat. I want big the big monstrosity ones, the ones that you
I know what
take
you're
out.
talking about. My mom used to get those. Yeah. You have to
There's
break it
like
up
6 or 8 of them in the box, and you bust them in half and
and break them in your bowl.
yep,
Yeah.
break them in your bowl. You're right. I don't want the spoon size or the Kashi organic.
I don't buy organic. Okay, I got a confession here, but I can't stand still like in place for more than a minute or two without getting dizzy. I think that's part of why I had that episode at the DMV. But I'm not gonna take that chance here in the house. It is so hot, dude. It is always, without the AC, it is easily 10 to 15 degrees hotter inside than it is outside. And I caved. I said, I finally said, screw it. It's worth $250 to get me a portable AC to at least cool off part of the apartment. And I can clean and scrub floors and do what I need to do. And then tell my ex, hey, get your butt in here. Your kids have no AC, But it's not getting here till Monday, next Monday.
Okay. Hey, Speedy Romans. Coney dogs are good. I like a
Coney,
good
what?
Coney dog.
Let me see.
Oh wow, yeah. Amazon does have the big biscuit shredded wheats for $4.
Okay, I'll pay it.
Now,
I mean, if I wanted it, that's not what I want. But
I'm
hey, if
trying
it's
to.
what you want, it's worth it.
Oh, 18 biscuits. Ooh, for $4. I may have to just
Potato
go ahead and order
salad. I
that.
love a good potato salad. Oh man, my mom made the best potato salad.
We used to get uh, not the chili dogs others try to pass off as Coney.
I love a
Chili
chili
dogs,
dog.
Coney dogs, chili cheese dogs.
I don't think I've ever had a coney dog. Now I'm intrigued.
You've never had a Coney dog?
It's weird. As many times as I went to Coney Island, I've been to the Nathan stand. I had hot dogs. I don't know what makes it a coney dog. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, let's see here. A Coney dog is a beanless chili, mustard, and diced onions. A chili dog has chili con carne, cheese, and toppings like jalapenos and sour cream.
I don't like jalapenos on anything. All right.
Yeah, the ground beef sauce is the one that's used for a good Coney dog.
All right.
All right.
Whew.
And I take, if I see somebody putting ketchup on their hot dogs, I take the ketchup and throw it in the trash can.
Oh, that's gonna start a fight. That's terrible.
The
Some people
only
are children.
if it's mustard only, yellow or brown,
Mustard.
and I depending on where the individual is from, I will accept diced onions that have been mixed into mayonnaise.
Okay. You're
All
a little
right,
open-minded. We got that.
but that's it. I mean, as far as now you want to put chili on it or coney sauce on it and jalapenos, that's fine. But you do not put ketchup on a hot dog. So I know some Europeans that mix onions. They really fine dice their onions and then mix a little bit of mayonnaise in with them to keep the onions on the hot dog. Oh crap! All right, I'm going to have to end this stream. The police just pulled into my driveway, and I've got no why the sheriff's department is pulled up there. Well, they are now at my front door. All right, we'll be back on Thursday, guys. Later.